Hey everybody, welcome to Golden Tee Mobile, the league. My name is Joel Wilburn, aka Moneyball, and I'm going to just take a little bit today to show you how you can use the statistics from GTM the league that we keep on DataStudio to see how you compare to the field in some areas and where you can improve, and how I use those to then go and figure out what I need to work on in order to get better. And so let's jump right into it. And what I'm going to do here is put up on the screen a view of our DataStudio page. And where I've gone to is under the stats and then over to hole outs and drops. And I've gone ahead and filtered. So there's a filter here where you can filter by your player name. There's also a division filter. I've gone ahead and filtered down to the divisions that I've played in last season and this season. That way I know when I'm comparing myself to the league average that I know I'm comparing to people who are at the same level that I am. And then at the very bottom here, I've filtered down to season 5 and season 4. So that shows me all of last season's statistics and then the first half from this season. I think that gives me the clearest picture of where all these averages should lie and how I compare to the people that I've been playing against. And so this bottom screen, what you're going to see is the league drop shot average. And so this is the average number of drop shots, the percentage of drop shots per hole, per course across the entire league. It's color coded, so you can see that the darker red colors are the holes that people perform the worst on. And so just kind of at a glance, you can kind of see here that on Tundra Peak hole 16 appears to be one of the worst, with a league drop shot average of 78%. And all of these averages are compared to what we call GT par or golden T par. So that is the optimal number of shots without a hole out is considered GT par. And if you score below that number, then it's going to show that you dropped a shot on that hole. And so up here at the top screen, we're going to see my averages, my statistics. And so as we can see here, Tundra Peak, I think that was the one with 100%. Yeah. So Tundra Peak, hole 16, I have dropped 100% of the time I've played there. So I've literally played that hole, let's see, 20%, 80%. So it looks like probably 5 times in league play, and I've never made GT par. Tundra Peak, hole 15, 80%. Let's find some other high ones here. So we've got Pine Coast, hole 16, 86%, Pine Coast, hole 18, 71%. And so really what I like to do is I like to go and find where, these holes that have the most red are. And I also like to compare them down to the field and see where how I compare to the people that I'm playing against. So particularly if I find a hole that we'll use this hole number 9 in Tundra Peak and hole number 9 in Teal Garden. Let's scroll down here. So Tundra Peak, hole 9, drop rate of 32% compared to my drop rate of 80%. That's a pretty significant red flag. Teal Garden, hole 9, drop rate of 75% as compared to the field with a drop rate of 52%. So both of those are pretty significant red flags that I might need to go and play those holes in campaign, figure out what's going on, why am I shooting well below the league average on those holes, and what can I do to improve. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the view with my iPad, and we're going to go ahead and work on, let's say Teal Garden hole 9. I think that's a, wait, which hole was it? Let me make sure. Yeah, Teal Garden hole 9. Let's go and take a look at that one. Make sure here. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my iPad. Take me just a second here. All right, so we're going to go into campaign. come over here to Teal Garden, Pro, Hole 9. Now there's a few things you can do. A lot of times what you can do is you can just start practicing right off the bat. Obviously, you'll be using your pyro clubs. All of your equipment that you use is going to count against, you're going to have to replenish that equipment. What I like to do is I've got these boosts. So I bought the Dodge City package that gave you 50 boosts along with it. These are good for a full hour. That's what I prefer to do whenever I'm practicing. I like to go ahead and just use one of those. It gives me a full 60 minutes to where all of my equipment is free, all your mulligans are free, where you've got insider clubs. It most closely matches up with what I play with in league play. And so what I honestly like to do at first is just kind of like not overthink it too much and look at the setup, look what the game has given me, and just try what I would normally try in league play. And so in this case, I would try a high T. 3 wood's probably not going to reach. High loft driver. I would aim off to the right a little bit so I can clear this tree. Let's see what we do here. That's a pretty good shot. See if I'm off this lip. Looks like it. So I'm going to go ahead and just putt this with the Ranger. There we go. And so I just like to play it just like that. And so that, I feel pretty comfortable. I'm like, all right, I knew what was going to happen there. It was a fairly easy setup for that hole. And then I just jump right back into it. And I try to get as many looks at that hole as I can and figure out what it is that that the game will throw at me that I can't quite seem to get whenever I'm actually playing a league match. So this is a fairly similar setup. They put me a little bit further to the left behind this tree. I'm still going to attempt to make a very similar shot. Let me actually think about that. Because I could attempt to come around from the left-hand side here with a javelin, potentially. That's what I'm going to do. Come with high T, high loft drive, 3 wood. Yeah, let's see if we can make it over. See, and so right now, I believe the 3 wood will make it over this highest part of this pagoda or whatever you call it, but I'm really not positive. Let's give it a shot and see. Yep. Oof, just made it up. There we go, 2 for 2. Alright, what do we got this time? Pretty similar to what we had before. We're far enough left to where we can come around. Oof. Probably can come around the left side of that tree. We're going to have to throw it out towards the 1 a little bit more than the last time. Honestly, we could probably come around this other side as well. It's sort of preference with this setup, what we decide to do. I think in this case, I'm going to come over here to the left side again. High loft driver. You know what? I think I'm going to try something different this time. So I'm going to actually attempt, we're going to go with a Maniacs. So after I try a couple of times, I get a little bit of a feel for, what the different setups are, what I might be doing that's messing me up. Sometimes I'll then like to just try a few things that are kind of different than what I've done in the past and see if I can come up with a different approach that gives me a better shot at things. And so in this case, I really want to see if I can hold the green with this Maniacs. And so I'm going to be playing with the wind here, so I don't have to curve it around to the right too much. I need to come far enough out to the one to clear this tree. There we go. That's a good shot. 3 for 3. Let's jump in again. It's really easy whenever I go to do this and I get a bunch of, I get a bunch of really good shots all at once. Oh, wow. Well, that's an easy setup. And watch this be the one I miss. But it's really easy when they give you a bunch of really good shots right off the bat. I'm feeling in the groove. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I got this hole, and then jump into a league match and, of course, bomb it right off the bat. So, you kind of got to get enough that you feel like you really do understand what you've been doing wrong in league play. I can go ahead and tell you why my numbers are low on this one are mostly because in last season of league play, I did not ever play around the left side of the tree. I always came around the right-hand side. And particularly when the wind is fighting against you, it can just really hurt you to do that. So in this one, I'm just going to play a little grabber. Play it long. Let the wind bring it back to the right. And let the grabber bounce it back to the left. With this angle, we didn't have to avoid the tree, we didn't have to avoid the little pavilion thing, we didn't have to avoid that gong, like everything was just, or not the gong, but that other structure over there to the right. I would say that's maybe a 10% shot that you get in pro setups. Similar here. Personally, I probably didn't need the gold tee here, but I'm pretty bad about just always going with the gold tee if it gives me even just a slightly better angle. I'm not stingy with equipment, even when I'm not using these boosts. Let's look here. So I'm going to try to get enough loft onto this that I can just park it right there with on the green with the sniper. You do have to be careful with this shot. Sometimes it's really easy to hit that gong or even the framing on top of it. I think this is what I need. The wind's not carrying it over as much as I wanted, but it'll probably work. Get a chance to chip. So I always move over to the side here, and what I'm really looking for is this ridge right here, seeing how far below the ball how far below that ridge the ball is sitting. The amount that it is on this one makes me a little bit nervous to use the chipper. I think it will work. And so what I like to do here, I'm actually going to try a few different shots. It gave me a good opportunity to practice my short game and take advantage of it. So I've got 5 yards in. I'll put the Ranger on to get a little bit more height. I'm going to go ahead and just put it right where it turns green there. About 18, 19%. Right in. So as you can see, well, and I was actually going to use a mulligan and redo that, but obviously if you make it, you can't do it. So as you can see there, like I just had the perfect amount of distance where it fell right into the hole. And if I'd gone any less than that, I'm not sure it would have cleared the lip. The other thing you can do there is you can use a lob wedge, flop wedge, sand wedge, and you can just try to put a streak or a torpedo on it. And a lot of people like to do it that way. I prefer to use the chipper anytime I can. All right, this is going to be my last one. Assuming I make it. I never end on a bad shot. But this is the same shot we've already seen for the most part. Shouldn't be too difficult. I'm just going to go in here with a wind cutter. A little bit more. short, but it should make the green and leave me with a putt. And you know, on a hole like this, that's usually all I'm playing for. There we go. So that's how we that's how I like to kind of practice, how I like to use DataStudio to figure out where I need to work on, what I need to do. You can do the same thing if you're part of the league. You can go to the statistics page there. You can find it. You can figure out how you compare to the rest of the field. You can even put somebody else's name in there that you know you're of a similar skill level to. Look at their stats and kind of compare. We've got a lot of features planned for the future that we hope to roll out that give you an even clearer picture of like your worst 10 holes. Maybe your best 10 holes as compared to the field. Maybe show the difference of your drop shot rate as compared to other people in your division. We really want to roll out a bunch of that kind of stuff so that you're not having to hunt through this giant table. And the more courses that IT releases, the more difficult it is to hunt those down and figure out what the table is actually saying as well. So stay tuned. Hope to do more of these videos that kind of show you how I practice, how I like to, figure things out, how I like to approach courses. Hopefully we can get some of the other gold and silver and bronze guys on here to do the same. And we'll see you next time.